and welcome to another edition of Old Knacks Nuggets, a Bryan's Heating and Air Conditioning podcast where we get on here and we talk about common questions that the homeowner might have about their heating and air conditioning. My name is Brooklyn, and I'm here with Bryan Nacarado, the owner and president of Bryan's Heating and Air Conditioning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, Brooklyn. You know, it's we're expecting snow tomorrow, or tonight, I guess, would be the official forecast, and they're predicting maybe up to about 4 or 5 inches of snow. So, we're good time of year for us being in the heating business. I will tell you that. One thing though that I always didn't like about when we had a lot of snow was going in and out of people's homes.
Tracking stuff.
Yeah, and we wear the shoebies and so forth, and the customers are always very understanding, but I always felt bad about going in and out of their homes.
It's just like an extra layer of irritating.
Yeah.
The snow, not the snow.
Slows things down a little bit.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I can't stand driving in the snow. Can't stand it. It's beautiful to watch if it's like a Saturday and you can just read a book and whatever. But to have to drive in it, it's horrible.
Yeah. So what's on your mind today?
Well, today I'm going to give you a scenario and I need you to make it make sense.
Okay.
Let's say I keep my house at 70 degrees during the winter, and that's pretty warm, relative to the whatever it is outside. Why does it still feel like cold inside of my house? I have to wrap up in a blanket and coffee and stuff.
So a couple of things I want to address here for you. First of all, government recommendations. Now again, this is government recommendations. It's your furnace. You can set your thermostat wherever you want. But wintertime, the recommended setting is 68 degrees. And some people say, oh my goodness, that's just too cold. Conversely, in the summertime, the recommended setting is 78. I don't know very many people other than myself that keep their thermostat at 78 in the summertime. But again, it's your system. You can operate it however you want. But to address the fact that the house is up to the temperature that you're trying to maintain on the thermostat, but it still does not have a comfortable feel to it, in a lot of cases could be due to low humidity in the house. And so that's where when we install what we call a whole house humidifier that mounts on the ductwork and is tied into the system, that's where these can help out. So there's a lot of things that come into play here. One of the big things is the health side of having humidified air. So it increases our respiratory health, if you will, to breathe humidified air as opposed to dry air. And if you ever notice that if somebody's in the hospital and they have oxygen, a lot of times it's going through a little canister bottle, if you will, that has water in it, where they're humidifying that oxygen that patient is breathing.
Really?
It helps with the reduction of infections and so forth in the respiratory system. The other thing that comes into play is your skin. So a lot of times someone will say, boy, it sure is dry in my house. My skin is dry. I get static electricity and my hair is sticking up. And again, that's in most cases due to there's just not enough humidity in the house. And so again, when we install a whole house humidifier, we can mitigate a lot of those problems. So then you get into the comfort side of it too, not just the health benefit side, but the dryness in the house. Again, your sleep quality goes down in a lot of cases because people are congested at night. And there have been some studies that say if there's more humidity in the house, it may reduce some snoring a little bit as well.
No way.
And
Those are people that might work on.
So having a humidifier on your system can help out with how you feel in terms of the comfort level, and also from the health benefits of having that higher humidity air in your home. Then we get into the energy side of the equation. And in a lot of cases, you may be able to lower your temperature on your thermostat maybe a degree or two and still feel as comfortable if that air is humid. Now, in the wintertime, we're typically trying to target about 35% humidity in the house. If you try to drive it up more than that, then you run into issues sometimes where you may see condensation on the inside of the windows and so forth. But if we can maintain about 35% humidity, usually that solves a lot of health issues and then also the comfort level issues. And then from the energy standpoint, maybe I can turn that temperature down about a degree or two and still feel as comfortable. Now, a lot of times over the years, we've checked the humidity in somebody's house. Many years ago, before we had digital meters, we had what was called a sling psychrometer, and it had a couple of mercury bulbs on it, and one of them we would put, had a little sock that went over the end of the mercury bulb, and we would dampen that with water. The other one's a dry bulb, so you had a dry bulb and a wet bulb thermometer. And you stood there and slung this thing around a little bit, and then you took the dry bulb and the wet bulb temperatures, and then it would tell you what the relative humidity was in the house. Nowadays, fortunately, we have electronic meters where we can just go in and sample the air and it'll tell us. So again, there are times where we've gone into somebody's home and the humidity in the house may be down around 18% humidity. That's really dry.
Ugh.
And makes it uncomfortable in the house. You get a lot of static electricity. You shock yourself when you touch the light switch, that kind of thing.
That happens to us every night when we go to turn the fan switch on, because there's two. When we turn the fan switch on, you get shocked every single night. So
one reason that the house becomes so dry in the wintertime, there's a lot of times where someone may say, well, it's 45% humidity outside. Why is it so dry in my house? So we're talking about relative humidity. As the temperature goes up, the amount of moisture that it's holding stays the same, so the relative humidity actually goes down. Now, the warmer the air is, the more moisture it's capable of holding. But if we bring that same humidity in, let's say it's 45% humidity outside and it's 35 degrees, that air infiltrates into our home through doors, windows, every time you open the door, those kinds of things. We bring that colder, higher humidity air in, and now we warm that up. Well, the relative humidity actually goes way down. And so that's why it gets dry in the house in the wintertime. Over the years, there have been a lot of people that have told me, well, it's that heat exchanger on that gas furnace. The heat exchanger is not the problem. It's we're infiltrating air in, cold air in, and when we warm that up, the relative humidity actually goes down.
So if you're not doing anything to bring that up as well,
right,
then it's gonna
stay down. And so that's where adding a humidifier to your system becomes a good thing to do. Just in terms of the things we talked about, the health benefits, the comfort level, and a little bit of energy savings.
So, in terms of humidifiers, definitely a good thing to look into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What if you've just got like your bedroom that's super dry, or it feels dry because you're sleeping in there? Is it still beneficial to even get one of those portable ones where you can move it around?
Yeah, and if you close the bedroom door at night and you have just a room humidifier in there, yeah, it's very beneficial. Helps with all the things we talked about with the comfort level and with the health benefits. So having a room humidifier is not bad. Over the years, you've seen whole house humidifiers that maybe set in the living room, was a big console model, and you're constantly having to put water into it. And by having a system that is mounted, or a humidifier that's mounted onto your heating and cooling system, you eliminate that side of the maintenance of it. Now, with a humidifier that is mounted on the heating and air conditioning system, there is a little bit of maintenance there's a water panel in there. Most people call them filters. It's not actually a filter. It's an evaporator pad is what it is. Kind of a honeycomb looking thing that the water trickles down through. And with all this surface area of the evaporator pad, it allows that moisture to evaporate or boil off. And so those need to be replaced every year. They are covered in a coating that inhibits bacterial and microbial growth, but after one season, it's gone.
Use it through.
Yeah, and so those just need to be replaced every year, and then the humidifiers themselves just need to be cleaned up a little bit. We are putting water through that all winter long, so there's a little bit of chance for some mold to grow in there. So they just need to be cleaned.
Good to have somebody look at it before you start using it.
Yeah.
Producing mold into your air.
Yeah. So we have a lot of our maintenance customers that when we go out, we take a look at the water panel. They can look at the history, the technicians can, and see that the water panel's been in there for a year, so it's time to replace it. And we just go ahead and take care of it on their maintenance checks.
Interesting. Good to know.
Yeah. Hey, any other questions you have about humidifiers, Brooklyn?
I don't think so. I do think I should go get one now, though.
Yeah, not a bad thing to have. Hey, before we get out of here today, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What did one HVAC duct say to the other?
What?
We need to vent. Until next time, old Knack out.